Hey, welcome to the Johnny McCabe Show, where it's all about accelerating your authority in your business or field of expertise. And we do that by helping entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, experts, and speakers get seen, get heard, get noticed on any device, anywhere, anytime, in as little as 15 hours worth of work, also known as the Authority Acceleration Blueprint. Now, on today's show, Hot Seat Coaching Thursday, I'm going to share with you the number one thing every business, entrepreneur, author, expert, and speaker needs to focus on right now if they're looking to build their business, grow their brand, and increase their exposure. Now, let's face it, doing business in today's world is much different than it was 10 to 15 years ago. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities, such as people still do business with people. Customer service and relationships are still the key to happy and repeat customers in business. But the method in which you get the people in the door or pick up the phone to call you has definitely changed. Now, the old methods of advertising, such as newspapers, TVs, and radio spots, are dying and decreasing as more and more people are getting their news online, listening to podcasts in their car instead of the radio, fast forwarding through commercials, or watching shows like Netflix, Hulu, Crackle, iTunes, and Amazon Prime. Now, newspaper subscriptions are down. The number of people actually relying on the paper for their news has substantially decreased as today's generation moves online for everything. Now, this type of media is still being used by many of the big companies, entrenched in the past and failing to accept the new world order of the online world. Now, not only that, but these businesses are seeking immediate gratification by running sale after sale after sale, or they're constantly pitching to their audience, never bringing value to those who may actually be paying attention. Just like you, I understand the need to make money right now. But you also need to focus on the long game and have a much bigger strategy in play if you're looking to build and grow your brand, your business, and your income. Because chances are you're just a lot like me. You got into business or became an entrepreneur for one of two main reasons. The first is freedom. Now, freedom means different things to different people. But to boil it down, basically you want to have the time and the money to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, and with whomever you want to do it with. Now, the second reason is you want to serve others with your unique and talents and gifts and make a difference or an impact in other people's lives. So in order to accomplish those two things for yourself, you need to focus on the number one thing that's going to help you get there. Now, it's not a magic button or a silver bullet. It isn't going to get you rich overnight without actually working, putting in some effort, and having a plan. But failing to focus on this number one thing in today's world will put you further and further behind, while focusing on it will grow your business, your brand, and your income. Now, when I return, I'm going to share with you that number one thing every entrepreneur, business owner, author, expert, and speaker needs to focus on right now. And I'm going to give you the 3 steps that will help you achieve it. Now, the quicker you implement what I'm going to share with you, the faster you will accelerate your authority, grow your business, your brand, and your income. You'll be able to serve more people, make a bigger impact in people's lives, and reach your personal definition of freedom. So don't go away. I'll be right back with an amazing show today on accelerating your authority. Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining in today. I have a great show lined up for you today. This is Hot Seat Coaching Thursday segment of the Johnny McCabe Show. This is a topic that's very near and dear to my heart and lessons I've personally learned over my past 12 plus years as a self-employed entrepreneur. Now, it's taken me that long to learn the valuable lessons I've needed, invested in the appropriate courses and education that ties into this. You know, I've hired the right coaches and been involved in numerous masterminds and followed some of the key influencers that has enabled me to share this message, strategy, and the 3-step plan to help you accelerate your authority so that you can reach freedom in your life, serve more people, make more money, and grow your business. So the number one thing that every business needs to focus on right now is getting attention. Now, every company needs to get attention in this noisy and busy space. Now, it's generally always been that way. However, the playing field is a little bit different now than it was 10 to 15 years ago. It's definitely a different landscape. And you should think of yourself as a media company first and foremost. Then it's whatever your business is. So I'm a media company / marketing consultant, or you're a media company / engineer, or a media company / mortgage broker. So just like a media company, you're in the attention getting game. So ask yourself, how do you get the attention of your ideal target market? So what you want to do is you want to go where the eyeballs, the ears are looking and listening. Now, in today's environment, this isn't TV commercials or spots on the radio, because fewer and fewer people are actually listening to the radio, or ads in the newspaper or magazines. Generally, eyes are focused on their smartphones. When you're walking down the street, you'll see the majority of the people that are walking are actually, their eyes are on their smartphones, not walking or paying attention to where they're going. A lot of people have their eyes on their tablets or their computers, or they're listening to their phones or their tablets or computers. They're listening to something, or they're watching something, or they're looking at something on one of those three devices. So you need to get yourself in front of these people with a message that resonates to your ideal target market. Now, I don't mean buying a bunch of pay-per-click ads. That's not what I'm referring to, because all you've done is just shifted your ad from one medium to another. You've taken it from the newspaper and put it online, and that's typically not what I'm referring to. Because let's face it, most people don't click on those ads anyway, especially if they don't already know you, like you, and trust you. Now, those people are also referred to in the marketing term as a cold market. They don't know who you are, they don't like you, they don't trust you, they don't know anything about you. Typically, they're referred to as a cold market. So your goal is to move that cold market into a warm market by getting them to know you, like you, and trust you. Then retarget them using banner ads to get them to buy something. So those type of banner ads or pay-per-click ads are more effective when people actually know who you are and you're targeting them specifically. Now, one way to move your audience from a cold to a warm audience is by creating a message that resonates with them and delivers massive value using having your media mindset. So having the mindset that you're a media company and you need to get the attention of your ideal target market. So you need to create a message that actually resonates with them. Now, before I get into the 3-step plan to get you more attention quickly, it's important to lay some foundation about the message that you're going to deliver in order to get that attention. So one thing you need to do is you need to get crystal clear on who your ideal target market is. Now, I keep going back to being clear on your ideal target market. I've said it many times in a lot of these episodes, but that is really laying the foundation for whatever business you're in. Is you need to truly understand your ideal target market or your avatar. You need to know what their pains, fears, frustrations, and ambitions are. You really need to understand what their desired outcome is when it comes to your product or service, and how your solution is going to help them achieve that desired outcome, and what are the benefits that your solution will give them as a result of using it. So this is a lot of key information that a lot of businesses, I'd say a majority of the businesses, actually haven't done their work to figure this stuff out, which is why they're struggling to get attention. Even when they're doing some of the strategies you're going to talk to in the 3-step plan, they're struggling to get that attention because the message they're creating is not resonating with their ideal target market. So you also want to get clear on what are the frequently asked questions of your ideal market, as well as what questions should these people be asking me before they make a buying decision about the product or service that you offer, whether it's your product or service or somebody else is offering the same thing. What are the questions that they should be asking? So all this stuff is just laying the foundation. It's really understanding your ideal target market, and it's actually going to help a little bit later on down the road when we talk about creating some content. Understanding all of this and going through this exercise is really key to laying the foundation. Like I said, we're talking about the number one thing is you need to get attention, but before you start going out and getting the attention, you need to understand who you're getting the attention from and what verbiage is going to resonate with them. So also you want to know what the typical buying objections are of your ideal target market or your consumers or your customers, and how you can overcome these objections before they even get asked. So you want to get crystal clear. Now, a lot of times marketers will use these as myths, and they'll talk about the myths of their product or service. So one of the myths of X is this, and what they end up doing is they actually overcoming the objections before the person has a chance to even object. So price a lot of times could be an objection. So you need to come up with a myth about your product or service that answers the objection of the price. So getting crystal clear on what people's objections are of when you ask them to buy your product or service. So understanding all of that just enables you to create a message that's really going to resonate with your ideal target market and really sort of hit home that because you're answering these objections, counteracting them before they even get a chance to say them. So I can't stress this enough. Really understanding your ideal target market is key. The pains, fears, frustrations, or ambitions. What is their desired outcome? Because that information is crucial, and the benefits that they're going to receive as they're achieving their desired outcome when they're using your solution. That information is key when it comes to your messaging, which you're going to get into a little bit later on. So as you'll come to see, all of this foundation really is important when you're getting into the three key steps to getting that attention. So when you're going to start implementing that 3-step plan for getting the attention, you're going to keep referring back to a lot of this stuff that this exercise that you're going to go through when it comes to finding your ideal target market. And remember, regardless of what business you're in, you're really in the media. You're a media company first and foremost, and then you do whatever it is you actually do for a business. Because attention is the number one thing that you need to focus on right now to build your brand, grow your business, and accelerate your authority. Now, in order for you to get that attention for your business, I put together this 3-step plan to help you get attention in your marketplace that will really accelerate your authority. Now, the first step to the 3-step plan is actually doing live video very much like this. So Facebook Live works extremely well because Facebook is giving a lot of attention to people who are actually doing live video, and you're able to attract a much larger audience. So definitely step 1 is doing live video. Facebook Live gets you a lot of attention, but you can also do live webcasts or live webinars to really educate your audience. Now, some of the content that you can use in either the Facebook Live or the content that you can use for your webcasts or your webinars that you're going to use to educate your audience, we're going to go back to what I was talking about earlier when it comes to understanding your ideal target market. So you're going to look at some of the content is really that foundation that I was talking about before when it comes to getting attention. So some examples would be the 10 frequently asked questions for your product or your service. So doing a live show around the frequently asked questions is definitely something that will help you create some content that you can use in the future, as well as really going to educate your ideal target market. And it's going to speak directly to them because you've already laid that foundation. You know who they are, you know what their pains, fears, and frustrations are, and you also know typically what the frequently asked questions are. And also the 10 should ask questions. So these are questions, put yourself in the consumer's position. Now, if you're going to go out to your competitor, what questions would you ask your competitor that's going to differentiate you from them? So you're going to ask a competitor this specific question to find out, one, if they do it properly, if whatever you consider to be properly. So these are questions that typically aren't asked, but they end up differentiating different levels of service or different qualities of products between your company and your competitors. So doing a Facebook Live show or doing a live webcast or webinar where you're actually going through these questions and answering them can be very beneficial to your audience. Now, another thing that you can use for content is the benefits that your ideal target would receive when they're using your product or service. So, outlining the 5 major benefits that they're going to receive once they buy your product or use your service or whatever it is. So, and then how your business is different. So, coming up, that's maybe another Another idea for a live session is how your business is different from others. You can incorporate the should ask questions into that as well. And you're not focusing on the features of your product or your service, because really nobody cares about features. All people care about is what's in it for them. So you really want to talk about the benefits and how your product or service is different using a benefit-driven segment. And also, we talked a little bit about this earlier, overcoming objections. And you can do that by saying, by doing a session, the 3 myths about product X are this, which are really they're objections people have, and then you're countering those objections by calling them myths, and then you're explaining exactly what how you actually overcome those objections. Another thing you can do is interview people. Interview people other than people in your market. Interview successful customers. Tell stories of transformation of people that have used your product or service. That's a great way to create content. One thing that I do on my show on a regular basis is I interview other people that are entrepreneurs or business people that have strategies that are very successful with their strategies. Maybe they're on a journey and they actually have encountered a lot of obstacles and what they've learned from their journey. So interviewing successful people, interviewing successful customers, getting people to tell their story of transformation can be very impactful, and it's a great way for you to create content for the live video that you're going to produce. So just to recap, step number 1 of the 3-step plan to get attention right now is doing live video, specifically on Facebook Live, because they're giving a lot of attention to it right now, but you can still do live webcasts and live webinars, and it's all designed to create content and to educate your audience and get them to actually know you, like you, and trust you a little bit more. Remember, we're talking about moving that cold audience to a warm audience, and then that warm audience into a hot audience by getting them to take action and actually purchase your product or your service. So right now, in order to, remember, you're in the attention getting business. You're a media company first, and then you're a doctor, or then you're a dentist. So you're in the media business and you need to get attention. And one of the best ways to get attention right now is step number 1 is doing live video.